Hello, everyone. Now, if you would leave your whale games at the desk here, we would get to talking about today's game. Xeodrifter. Now, this is the physical version. This is originally a download-only title, and this was by Limited One Games. The physical edition. The game is made by Renegade Kids, which is known for a 3D title, 3DS title. I don't really remember what it was called, though, to be honest. I heard about it tons of times, never played it or anything, but this is pretty nice. I'm not sure if it was worth the full price tag that the limited game ones. This kind of had the same thing, I would say, with Octodad, where it's a really short game. It's very enjoyable. But it's that kind of thing where it's kind of hard to justify probably paying more than $19.99 for. And it does have a colored book with the odds. Not anything too complicated. What I do like is the artwork in it is very reminiscent of Metroid, which is very fitting considering the title is basically a very simple Metroid game. So I gotta say, I gotta kind of appreciate that. I do wonder where the artwork came from, since it is originally a digital title who they commissioned to make it or that, so unless there was like artwork on the website or something. But anyway, getting to it, Xeodrifter is a very simple Metroid style game. It is definitely what I would describe as a Metroid beginner's game. It's very simplistic and not too overall confusing compared to starting any of the retro Metroids. While more modern Metroid games are a lot more easier to navigate or know where the fuck you're going, if you ever played the original NES Metroid, the lack of hand-holding, there is nothing, not even an in-game map. You literally have your own wits, paper, and pens, if you choose to use that. Though the booklet did have a very, very, very horrible map, if I remember correctly, if you had a booklet for the game still, or came across one. Xeodrifter offers you in-game maps of the 4 different miniature planets you will visit. Primarily, just similar to Metroid, you will be discovering power-ups that will allow you to continue through your journey by getting around obstacles. These power-ups are not optional in a similar way to Shovel Knight. However, it does allow you to choose health pickups and gun pickups. You have a basic gun that has different levels. You can edit how it functions with these gun power-ups. But besides these, everything else is mandatory and needed to progress the game. So you can make the game harder on yourself in a similar way to Shovel Knight, but the main power-ups you get from the bosses all required to continue the puzzles. You can only limit yourself by your health and how powerful your gun is. I like how the gun gives you a lot of different options of making it stronger, bigger, wavy, how rapid fire it is, or make it shoot multiple shots. And you can boost these up to make your gun function more. For the most case, though, a little wavy, maybe one into bigger pellet size, and a lot of rapid will get you through about everything. Primarily, the customization of your gun is very nice, and there's a few unique situations where having it a little different can be helpful, but having that rapid, especially on the boss, is very useful, So, I don't feel like you get as much functionality from it, but it's nice that it gives you that customization. Later on down the road, you also get one of the power-ups that only affects your gun, while everything else is more of a environmental, avoiding hazards or getting around hazards. One gun power-up you do get that's not your normal gun is the Soul Flare gun, which is a Mega Man blaster type gun where you hold it, charge it, and it'll shoot a powerful shot. There are a few environmental and strategic values to using this weapon. But again, overall, it's hard to fight that rapid fire that your gun can get once you start getting those power-ups. Probably one of my big problems with Xeodrifter. It's one of those games where as you get more powerful, the game gets easier. I can tell you the last 3 instances of the boss were so much easier than every other instance. And Xeodrifter is one of those few games that also features what I like to refer to as a progressive boss, or returning boss. Kind of like a rival character in certain games that we pop up with a different power addition. You fight the exact same boss throughout the entire game, but every time you encounter it has more power. So you're relearning new abilities it has on top of everything else you've seen it do before. So every single encounter involves new tricks, and primarily use your power-ups to avoid damage or counter things it does. Also, think outside the box, because there's actually a few achievements in the game that deal with how you interact with the boss in a few of the later instances. So if you think outside the box, you can get a few trophies that way too. But primarily, there isn't a lot of enemy variety. All the planets they have a different aesthetic difference, even though they're all very 8-bit looking, it's very pixelated looking. But there isn't a very large enemy pool, and there are no drops. There are hidden blocks you can find health pickups in, and usually before every boss there's a thing that spews out health. But primarily nothing actually drops items like missiles or health pickups like in Metroid. So, like I said, it's a very simplified game. Now, it does offer a number of shortcuts, usually once you get a power-up and you're going backwards to get back to your ship. Like, sadly, there is a lot of backtracking in this game, going back and forth to different planets to get to find new locations for power-ups and getting health and gun power-ups. It does feature a number of hidden walls and such. You will find hidden walls, not bazillions of them, but you will find some. Oh, I think I remember what that game, that when I get killed, I think it was called Mud Mutants or something like that. Which there was actually a secret room reference to that game in this game, in a secret wall room. But essentially, if you're a Metroid veteran, it's kind of probably hard to recommend this title, because it's very simplistic compared to any Metroid game, even more modern ones. I suck at platforming, so, I beat it. And it's very short, too. If you're really good, you could probably beat it under an hour. I would say I probably spent about 2 hours on it. So it's a very short experience. Similar to Undertale, it's a very enjoyable experience for what it's trying to do. For the type of game, though, it's kind of hard to justify probably more than $10. That's probably the price point I would go for with it, which I'm not sure what it goes for, like, digitally, but the limited game one's version, I believe, was $24.99. I'm sure it's probably skyrocketed in price, so if you're hoping to get a physical version, good luck on that. I wish you the best of luck on getting a decent price if you want a physical version. But I wouldn't probably pay more than $10 for this. It is enjoyable, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't have enough content to justify a lot of money, and there's virtually no replayability aside from looking for the missing things you may have found, missed that you could find. And I only had 3, I believe 2 gun power-ups and 1 health power-up I did not find, and assuming those are the last few hidden rooms, that would also do what I would assume one of the trophies would probably, like, explore 100%. Almost every Metroidvania style game with trophies has explore the entire map, so I feel confident in saying that's probably one of the trophies. But there isn't a lot of side paths. There's a lot of nice shortcuts to help you back after a boss fight usually, but primarily there isn't a lot of beating off the side path of getting to the end of the game. When you first start, yeah, there's a lot of stuff to explore, but you know, once you've went through a lot of places, there's only a few minor things to go back and find with a new power-up to find a new health or gun upgrade, so there isn't a lot of replay value, because for the most part, you're going to probably find everything your first time going through, unless it's being hindered by a particular power-up you need to bring back, so it's like I said, it's a beginner's Metroid game, is what it is. I would recommend it if you find it cheap. Physical version, as I said, will probably be very difficult in that, so you will probably have to go digital. It is on PlayStation 4, Vita, PC. I don't know if it's on any of the Microsoft consoles. Physically, it was also available for the Vita and PlayStation 4, so that's why I know it's also on the Vita. But I did definitely enjoy it. I would say check it out if you get a good deal, or if it becomes a PlayStation Plus or something like that. That's also a good reason to, well, get it, because it's free then. But I did enjoy it. Story-wise, I didn't really comment on the story really at the beginning of this, but I guess we'll just kind of go into quick spoilers about that. There's not really much to it. Your ship loses basically its main core power to warp drive, and you get stuck in a little area with planets, and you have to find a new power source so you can warp out. So you use your little engine to basically steamboat Willie to the planets to explore for a power source. This one alien you just keep meeting over and over and over again keeps detouring you. Once you get to the room where the power source is, the alien will take it, you will chase it, you will fight it one more time with all the powers and new powers it has, and then you'll face a little additional stage after you beat him and finish the game. So, you warp drive and you get the quits. There's nothing particularly special. The game shows you in the story. It's very simplistic. Not really anything to it, so there's no deep narrative or anything, so I did really enjoy it, but it's not worth a lot of money, and I'm sure the physical version is going to start becoming... A lot of these limited one games usually seem to boost to $50+ based on the want and IP, so sadly for the physical version, it's kind of bullshit. But I did enjoy it, so if you can find it for a decent price, I recommend it, but not for a lot of money. It's very, very short and it has no replay value, so it's, for the most part, the only replay you'll get is for the trophy hunting. After that, it goes on the shelf. Anyway, that's Xeodrifter. I did enjoy it, but it's very simple and short. If you're having trouble with Metroid games, this is probably a good place for you to try out and get used to it a little bit more than heading straight into Samus's first journey in the NES game or something. But anyway, if you got questions or anything, please leave a comment down below and I will get with you. Thank you for watching. Until next time. And also don't forget, if you learned something new, leave a like, and you didn't learn anything at all, leave a dislike. Worry free. Till next time.
で、どうだった？私の作った朝ごはん。感想だよ。感想。そうか、そうか。明日も作ってあげるね。 う